These are the first haunting images of the Blythe Star, a cargo ship that sank 50 years ago. Last month, the CSIRO located the wreck 10 kilometres off Tasmania's southwest coast.
We were aware that there was potentially a shipwreck in this area.
It's right there, is that right there?
Is it underneath?
No, it's on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's definitely it. Yep, no doubt.
Just below some pretty distinctive railing out on the foredeck, you look down and it's right there, STAR. Dropping the camera and getting the footage was really surreal. Thinking about the last time that ship had been seen was during the disaster. So it was really good to get the closure for the families, and we felt for them.
There were 10 crew who escaped the sinking of the Blythe Star in 1973. They spent 8 days on an inflatable raft. Only 7 made it back alive. Mick Dolman was an 18-year-old crew member at the time and is today the only survivor from that fateful voyage.
You'd think it would be rusted to pieces, wouldn't you?
It was fantastic, actually, to see a vision like that. It's in pretty good nick, actually, considering its journey.
Mind if I can see at this window here? So there's another one of those white objects down there. Yep, there's a few of them around.
There's no doubt about it that it's probably this area of water which holds the secret to what happened to the Blythe Star.
It was supposed to be a straightforward journey for the crew on board the Blythe Star, a cargo ship leaving Hobart for King Island on the 12th of October 1973. But as the ship reached Southwest Cape the following morning, it started sinking without warning, 10 kilometres out to sea.
When I was standing on the side of the ship with no life jacket, pair of jocks, freezing cold, it's a very daunting experience that your world is disappearing from under you, and from after that there's nothing.
All 10 crew members managed to scramble onto an inflatable life raft, but any relief they felt was short-lived.
Nobody knew which way we were going. Nobody knew that we'd sunk. There was no mayday, no collection of the portable radio unit, so we were just cut off from the world. But even having said that, we were still reasonably buoyed by the fact we're all alive, so it's not a grave site.
It was 2 days before authorities realised the ship and the crew were missing.
Vessels are requested to keep sharp lookout and report sightings, signed Marine Ops Canberra.
We were pretty confident that we'd have some traffic come past us at some stage, but it didn't happen.
What are conditions like in that area for a ship in trouble?
Almost impossible. Sheer cliffs rising straight up out of the sea. If you run into one, you'd have no chance at all, virtually.
The raft drifted more than 400 kilometres along the south and east coasts of Tasmania. Halfway through their nightmare journey at sea, the men experienced their first tragedy when second engineer John Sloan died.
We gave him a seafarer's burial at sea. Captain said a few kind words, and we slipped him over the side. And you couldn't get a word out of anybody for days.
Well, I'm not without hope, but as you must realise, my hopes are getting rather low now.
The search was called off after 10 days and no sign of the ship, debris or the crew. Most believed the men were lost forever. But after 8 days, their life raft had washed up on a remote Tasmanian beach where 2 other crew members died before help could reach them. Battling difficult terrain, 3 crew members came across a logging truck and raised the alarm.
We ran up to his truck and told him that we were the Blythe Star survivors. His response was, "No, you're all dead. They've cancelled the search and rescue. It was all over." I said, no, we're not dead.
11 days after leaving Hobart, 7 crew members had survived against the odds.
I don't think any of us believed that we were going to see you again.
Well, I was beginning to think the same myself.
We drifted and paddled towards the lighthouse. I can't forget the name of the lighthouse.
And there was media outside the hospital. In fact, there was media just come into the ward. But it wasn't too intrusive, apart from the fact we knew we lost shipmates. We were quite pleased that we're out of it and on the mend.
Susan McKenna's father, Chief Officer Ken Jones, never made it home.
If I couldn't have my dad, then as long as there was a positive legacy left, to me that was really comforting.
There are still questions about the exact circumstances that caused the Blythe Star to capsize. It's understood to have been overloaded. The tragedy led to major changes in marine safety and search protocols.
So it led to the establishment of the Maritime Position Reporting System being added to the Navigation Act. And this has been really crucial for being able to track ships in Australian waters. Now we have the automated AIS transponder system, and if a ship doesn't check in within 24 hours, they go out looking for it.
It's another chapter in the story, and it's bringing it to a new generation of people. So that's what I really love.
Despite his ordeal, Mick Dolman went on to dedicate his life to improving safety with the Maritime Union.
The finding of the wreck leading up to the October recognition and Memorial Day, it just is timed in perfectly. And I think there'll be a great deal of interest in the community in Tasmania and across the whole of Australia, and the story needs to be told.